wine itself has the blackberries. It's really juicy, some cranberry. It's a classic good Zinfandel.
I love that. For people who are getting to know your brand, the brand itself has some great YouTube videos out there that really go into detail. And let's just stick on the bourbon barrel for a moment because I think not only is it interesting, not only is it so popular right now, it, as far as the inspiration behind that stylistic choice, was it, I don't want to say just, but was it feeding that popular trend? Was it personal preference? Who and how did that decision happen in the company? And let's just go a little bit deeper because people out there who they hear that and they love it. So let's help them fall in love even more. Let's help them get excited and go buy that bottle. How did we decide on the bourbon aging?
Yeah, so this was a practice that the original winemaker, the founding winemaker, we call him, Bob Blue, he just retired a couple of years ago. Um, we were innovating, like thinking of new wine ideas, and this is a practice that he used, 20 plus years ago, 20, 25, 30 years ago,
Mhm.
when wine barrels, French oak wine barrels were pretty pricey, like a luxury kind of commodity to use. So he was looking at different alternatives to age his wines in here at Fetzer. Um, and he had this idea, and bourbon and whiskey barrels were cheaper. So he had done it, but he kind of remembered the influence, and he had since gotten away from that style for just our regular wines. But when we were thinking, he was like, "What else can we do? Like, that would be creative." And he brought up this idea, so we bought some bourbon barrels and tried it. And we were like, we should bottle this, not blend this into a bigger portion, not, just like this could be it. And so, yeah, we went down the path and here we are. Yeah, so that
That's
was in 2014 was our first vintage. So they had trialed it and then I started with the company in 2015. So I was here at the beginning. So I saw some of the evolution, and then Bob has retired and he's passed the torch to Sebastian and I.
let's can we talk a little bit about the different varietals you have in front of you, the process, the styles, aromas, flavor notes, just one at a time for each bottle?
Yeah, I pulled two. I can talk about any of the SKUs that you would like. You
Let's just do the two
tasted.
you have. That's fine.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, so I pulled the first, the
Okay.
original, the Zinfandel. It's like our classic. Um, and I say classic because Zinfandel is kind of like a American grape variety. It's very like Americana. It goes with our, the whole spirit of the brand. And it's kind of what Mendocino County and Mendocino is known for. We grow really great Zinfandels up here. It's nice and warm climate. And then we've also expanded. Now we're sourcing some of the fruit from Lodi as well, which is also really great grape growing region for Zinfandel. They're also known for the Zin, so we dabble over there too. They help us out. Um, and then it's also blended with some Petite Syrah because we want it to be like a really the whole backbone of the blend is bold. You're supposed to like match the bison, big style, bold characteristics. So we pick them the fruit really ripe. It's pretty hot, usually around 15% alcohol in the finished product. And then we blend, yeah, some Petite Syrah into this just to give the color a little more enhancement, some more tannin structure. Um, but then we finish it in bourbon barrels, and we sometimes use a little bit of American oak, French oak in there too, just to give the wine that's not bourbon barrel aged just some oak extract, oak enhancement. Um, but yeah, it's just the Zinfandel. The unique part of the Zinfandel, I mean, the wine itself has the blackberries. It's really juicy, some cranberry. It's a classic good Zinfandel. And then the bourbon barrel aging process is just where you get like the new some like dried herbs like oregano, um, some thyme. There's some like toffee characteristics from the toastiness of the bourbon barrel itself.
Mhm.
Yeah, and the point is to have a really strong wine, like you had mentioned with your friends who you drank these with when you tasted
Yeah.
them. We want to have a really strong wine. We don't want it to like waft bourbon, and like we don't want the bourbon to sit on top of the wine. We want them to be like really integrated and just like a finish, just something interesting and different that you can get, but it's not overwhelming or overpowering.
Something we both mentioned is it's very well balanced. Was there any challenge in the balance? Pretty straightforward, or was there a lot of trial and error involved with this vintage?
It's it's not pretty straightforward. We wish it were, just because yeah, the barrels coming from the distillers can be fresher. They can be emptied the week before. They could be emptied a month. So how much has evaporated? How much has been absorbed into the wood? How we those are unknown factors. So it's a bunch of trial and error. So it's fun, but it's a lot of work. So yeah, it's not so easy in that because we do have to like test each batch, and we want some consistency, but we want a little bit of difference. So yeah, it just depends. Yeah,
Before we move on, though, I don't want to forget the Sauvignon Blanc. So if we can hit the aromas there, the taste, tell us
yeah.
what we
This
should be
is a
tasting.
new release. This just came out in April or May of this year. So I'm really excited. I think it's still working its way across the nation. Um, but I'm really happy with this wine. I really like the way it came out this year. And I got to make it from scratch. So I made exactly what I wanted. So I'm of course very
Congratulations.
happy with it. Yeah, thanks. It's nice when you make something that you really like to drink too. Um, the fruit that we source for this comes from the majority from the Aurora Seco region, so down Monterey, Central Coast of California, which is just a really nice growing region, Bay Area influence. So it's like warm days and then cool evenings, mornings. Um, so a lot of it comes from there. A little bit comes from just up here in Mendocino County. We get some fruit, and then the rest is from Lodi. And the a different unique thing about this is it's blended with 10% Viognier. So the Viognier, which is kind of an ironic blender for Sauvignon Blanc, but it's like in the spirit of things bold. I have this Viognier that I really like. That's like it's really concentrated, ripened flavors. Has a lot of like peach and nectarine flavors. So I thought it could be really interesting in the Sauvignon Blanc. So I fermented them separate and then blended this percentage in there. And it it's really interesting because the Sauvignon Blanc it has a little bit of grassy, some grapefruit, citrus aromas, but then the Viognier twist makes it um, almost a little floral. But yeah, you get those like white peach kind of stone fruit flavors pop a little more because of that Viognier. And yeah, it's all stainless steel fermented and aged, so it has no oak contact. And then I do also some concrete eggs. So just these little, this is just a nerdy winemaker thing. But yeah, I think it enhances the texture and makes it a little more minerally. So you can look for that too on the palate. It's kind of interesting.
I love the two wines. I'm happy that you guys are doing the barrel bourbon aging because it's a fun taste.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about how we can find out more about the wines, where we can find them, where we can shop for them. And then, of course, from a social media point of view, I'm hoping you guys make more videos. So tell
Okay.
us where we can find you, follow and find all the stuff both to buy as well as on social media.
Yeah, so the brand as a whole is available. I mean, of course, through our website directly. You can buy it online, all the SKUs. I mean, I think depending on which state you live in, right? But yeah, you could check with the website first
Yeah.
directly with us, and then it's sold. All the SKUs are available at like any, I mean, grocery stores around the whole country. So You can check your local grocery store. Um, and oh yeah, our social media is our Instagram is 1000 Stories Wines, and then you can just Google. Yeah, we have a YouTube, and our website, of course, is a great resource to connect.